Hey everyone, and welcome to The Savvy Squaddie. In this video, I will be answering some of your questions. Firstly though, I just want to say a sincere thanks to all of you who have supported this channel so far. We have not long hit 1,000 subscribers and we are now close to 3,000. A year ago when I started uploading videos, I did not think at the end of 2022 I would have seen this much growth. So really, thank you so much. Your support helps amplify the message and mission I'm trying to achieve. Also, thanks to all those who submitted questions. I got quite a few and I will answer as many as I can. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram so you don't miss out on future Q&As and other bits and bobs I don't post to YouTube. Right, let's get into the questions. First question, are you a clerk? No, I'm not, although that would make my life a hell of a lot easier. But if there are any switched on clerks out there and that want to help me with some fact checking and research, then send me a DM. Next one up is, are you funded by the army? No. I'm not paid or endorsed by the army or even the MOD. I do this completely off my own back and in my own time. I have heard that my channel and videos have been played on briefs to help people, but other than that, I don't actually know if the powers that be are even aware of this resource, so no, I'm not paid by the army or the MOD or anyone at the moment. What's the best sandwich? A shit sandwich. Is the 11k lump sum you get when you sign off having done 12 years going to be increased? So this person's referring to the resettlement grant, and to my knowledge, no, there's no plans for it to be increased. Oh, and another one on the resettlement grant, can you sign off at your 11-year point and still get the resettlement grant after your 12-year point? Yes, you can. As long as your final paid day in the military is on or after your 12-year point, then you are entitled to the grant. Are you a millionaire? Nope. No, not yet. Far from it, but that's the long-term goal. Next up is, how do I find out what pension I'm on and what my pot looks like? Well, you can watch my pension videos, which I will link below, and they should help. Why did you start this channel? Ooh, that's a good question. Might send me on a bit of a rant, this one. Unpopular opinion, but we are paid a good salary and the amount of disposable income we have after tax and deductions is quite high in comparison to civilians in similar paid jobs. And that is because of the benefits that come with being in the armed forces. I mean, for me, after tax deductions and my needs are taken out, I'm left with over £1,000 a month in disposable income. Now I save and invest most of that, but I could instead piss it up the wall, buy expensive shit I don't need, and be broke at the end of the month complaining that I'm not paid enough and being a professional victim of my own decisions. I think the problem lies with individuals and their consumer habits. They have a consumption issue and more money will not solve this problem, it will only enhance it. And that is due to the lack of understanding of personal finance. So after seeing this lack of perspective and context, I thought I could have a positive impact in many people's lives by adding value in the form of basic financial education that they have not been taught, and that's why I started the channel. Next up is more help to buy info or scheme, as only 27% of UK population have a mortgage. So I do already have a video on the Forces Help to Buy scheme, which I will link below, but that scheme does end in December. And I also believe that the government help to buy equity loan has also been closed as well, but hopefully the Forces Help to Buy scheme gets renewed, but I haven't heard anything yet. When will the pension calculator be updated to reflect the McLeod judgment? It's unfortunately been delayed due to the complexity of the judgment, and currently it is set to be updated sometime next year, but no firm date has been released yet. Okay, so this one's on the Armed Forces Compensation Scheme. What is the best way about putting through an AFCS claim? Well, the form to put in that claim is on the Gov website, and I have made a video about the scheme which I will link below, and that should help you as well. Will you change jobs? I don't know. I have been thinking of my next 5 to 10 year goals and what I would like to achieve, and a potential transfer might be on the cards for the future, but we'll see. Next up is not a question, but thanks for the great content. You're welcome. Does resettlement start from your first day at training or your first day at battalion? Okay, I'm going to assume you mean you're talking about the eligibility for the resettlement grant. So that's 12 years qualifying service, and qualifying service means paid service, so essentially from your first paid day of service onwards, so that'd be from training, not battalion. Next up is, how much time do you put into these videos? A lot. It takes me around 2 weeks to get one video out, and this is due to my actual job taking priority, and it is actually quite busy. But then also I spend hours doing research and hours creating the video in my own time, so a lot of time does go into these videos, but it's definitely worth it. Are you a Renf? Yes, I am, and a proud one. How much money are you making from this? So at the recording of this video, I've made no money from these videos over the last year. YouTube has criteria to meet to be able to monetize your videos, although they will still play adverts on my videos even though I'm not monetized and keep all the revenue for themselves. However, with the explosion of my pay video, I have now met the eligibility criteria to become monetized. I am currently in the review process for that, but I am far from the point where that income could replace my current salary. Goals for this channel. I do have a lot of longer term plans for the channel and ideas which will help increase the value I can add to people, but I'm not going to go through that in this video, but there are plans. Okay, this one's about joining. I plan on joining up soon. What would your best piece of advice be for the application process? Well, the application process has probably changed quite a bit since I joined, but I would say do your research, find out what you want from the army, and take the best set of actions to achieve that goal. Go in understanding that you will be away from home, you will travel, and you'll not see your family for months, and at times you'll be working really long hours, and not in the nicest of places. If you go in understanding that, then you'll be fine. Have you got a video that explains the AFPS 75 and 15? Yes, I do, and I'll link it below. How long does the resettlement grant take to come through? So any benefits that are due to you when you leave tends to be paid the month after your final pay. So like think of it like a final pay. Why would you not take the EDP? So for those of you who don't know, EDP stands for Early Departure Payment, and that consists of a lump sum payment and a monthly income up until you can claim your pension. You do have to meet some eligibility criteria for this, which is on the 05 scheme, serve 18 years and be 40 or over when you leave, and on the 15 scheme, serve 20 years and be 40 or over when you leave. You need to meet both of those requirements to be eligible for it. Honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't take it if you're eligible. I mean, it'd be silly not to. Taking EDP does not affect or lower your pension as it's separate to the pension. You can actually give up the lump sum though to increase your monthly payments, but that's up to you. This one's on LSA. Are you only paid LSA after 5 nights out of bed, or is this duff gen? Yes and no. From my understanding, it's actually 7 days out of bed, and travel days are not included as it's seen as you've been home within that past 24-hour period. However, if field conditions have been granted, then you can get paid LSA for periods less than 7 days. Can you explain the over 37s package? I don't actually know too much about this as I haven't looked into it, but from my understanding, if you're over 37, are married but live unaccompanied, then you do not need to pay for accommodation. There could be more to it than that, but at the moment I'm not read into it that much, so I don't fully understand it all. And lastly, just want to say thanks a lot, keep going. Cheers mate, that's the plan. I'll leave it there. Thank you again for those that submitted questions, and sorry I couldn't get around to all of them. Thank you again for being a part of this journey in its early stages. Your support means a lot to me and it keeps me going. See you in around 2 weeks when the next video will be out. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you just saw, please hit the subscribe button up there, and if you want to see some more videos, click over there. See you soon.